What's happening, friends? I can't really see what's happening here. What's happening, my friends? If anybody's here, I'm trying this. Um, hey, what's up, Kathleen? So, I've got a box that keeps popping up in front of me here. Hey, there are people here. Okay, I'm trying this on my phone for the first time ever. Can everybody hear me? Just give me a yes or thumbs up if you can hear me. It'd help if I got some light on here. Oh, that's much better. Is the microphone working? Awesome. Awesome. Check out Buddy. You see that box that he's on? Well, I've got some disappointing news about that box. That box contains my new Renogy panel, but it's missing some parts. It was supposed to have the panel and the wiring and the charge controller, but they only sent the panel. So I've contacted them. So I'm still stuck with just 100 watts of solar right now. Let me see if I can get Buddy in the frame a little better. There we go. Isn't that better? I'd rather look at Buddy than me. Let me have a sip of water. Stopped at Subway. So this live thing, it's a little interesting, right? I want to tell you about how I finished out the day. So I put up that little 2-minute video about driving out to Leaper's Fork to get some Tennessee whiskey. I didn't end up getting any. Buddy changed his mind. So we just took a drive out through the country. I'm off today. It's Thursday. And took a drive through the country, and then I found a new laundromat. It's over right between the Kroger that I'm at now. I think I put it in the title that I'm at the Kroger. I don't know. I can't really tell. The last time I went live, I did it on the laptop, and it was much easier to tell what was going on. But this one on the cell phone, it's a little hard to tell exactly what's going on and what's going through. So bear with me on that. So I found a new laundromat, and it's clean, and I actually did my own laundry. I didn't do the drop-off service. And, they got the giant industrial size washers. So the wash took about, 15 minutes? And the dryer took about 30, and I had 10 days worth of laundry done that quick. And it turns out you pay about double for the drop-off service. And this is the first time I've actually done my own laundry since I was in Colorado. Oh, I've got some pop-ups here. Let's see. I'm sorry, I haven't even been paying attention to the messages. See, this is the problem about doing this on the phone. Your text doesn't stay on the screen long enough for me to read it. This could be a problem, I see. How did my doctor's appointment go? Sylvia, it went well. I still might have to have one follow-up, and we're seeing about that. But right now, things are kind of in limbo. So that's one of the things I still have to wrap up here, is to get all that squared away. Look at that Buddy guy. See how nice and white he is now after I cleaned him? Okay. Have I been using my generator for the AC? Yeah, not too much. I have to shut it all down about 9 p.m. at night and then go stealth park somewhere. But I haven't used it enough to even change the break-in oil. So in other words, I've used it less than 20 hours the entire time I've had it. We just had a rainstorm come up. Um, it's pretty cool tonight. I've already put up all my privacy panels. You can't see what I'm looking at, but I've got my big Reflectix on the windshield and my panels on the side doors. And I'm all buttoned up for the night. Got to turn in early tonight. Got an early day in the morning. Okay, let me check on this. Glad they didn't recommend surgery. Me too. But the doctor did tell me, he's kind of a joking kind of guy, and he said, hey, if you just want to have surgery, keep on lifting things, and you'll be back here to see me within a year to have surgery. So in other words, my days of lifting heavy stuff is over. So I can live a pretty decent existence without surgery as long as I just don't lift anything heavy from this point out. So, you know, no spring chicken anymore. So it's just the way it is. Homer, you're PA. You know, I went to a motorcycle trip to Pennsylvania back in 2012, I think. And that was one of the hottest places I've ever been. I was out west, like near Pittsburgh. And I went through a lot of Amish country. Beautiful land, but man, was it hot and humid. You know, East Coast, whether you're southeast or anywhere near the east, you're going to get a lot of humidity. You went full-time van today? I can't tell who said that. My mark on van life. Well, congratulations. Good to hear that. You know, I don't know if I'm liking this on the phone because I really can't see all your messages. They pop up for like 2 seconds and then they go away until somebody else says something. Oh, thank you, Gina. What's happening, Gina? You've been doing a lot of cool podcast style live things lately. I really enjoyed those. You got the strobe lights in the background and the microphone, the headset. It's pretty neat, you know. I wish I could set up something like that, but I can just barely get a video going in here. I've got this crazy bright light bulb here. You can't see it, but I know I look like I'm glowing. It's a USB light bulb. Where's your first place you're going, Mark? Where are you now and where are you going? I guess that's the best way to ask it. Humidity out in New Jersey. It's probably 90% humidity now. I mean, you kind of almost have fish gills just to breathe. Buddy's glowing. See, I've got 2 lighting systems in here right now. I've got one I can control over here with my left hand. See that? And the other one on the right side, I've got it just running off of the battery bank and I can't reach it. I can't get to it right now. Yeah, I really wish I would have done this on the laptop instead of the phone, but I left my laptop at work. It really sucks not being able to see the messages, but like 2 or 3 seconds. It doesn't give me time enough to respond to you properly. But every time somebody types something, there we go. North Georgia, staying local for a few days, then Blue Ridge Parkway. Love the Blue Ridge Parkway. You know, I went out on the Natchez Trace Parkway today, out west of Nashville. It goes from Nashville to Natchez, Mississippi. It's several hundred miles, but only did about 30 miles of it today. And that's where I went through that town, Leapers Fork. You know, all the country music stars live out there. I know, I think Tim McGraw's got a place out there. Willie Nelson used to have a place out there. I think he still has a ranch out there. But that's where the country music stars go when they want to be just a little bit out of Nashville, but not too far, where they can still get to their recording studios pretty easy. A lot of $1 million ranches out in Leaper's Fork. Buddy and I was hanging out with the millionaires today, weren't we, Buddy? So if you guys just tuning in, I've got the sad story about Renogy. That box that Buddy's on is my new Renogy panel, but they forgot to include the wiring and the charge controller. So I've emailed them. Maybe I'll hear something back tomorrow. So it looks like I've got another week. I might have to deal with just 100 watts of solar. And that's just barely enough to keep the fridge and the lights going, you know. And I'm trying to avoid running it from the alternator as much as possible, because you got to be using gasoline to do that. I've never charged my batteries from the generator, even though it is capable of doing that. Never done it. Never had the need. By the time I open up the cargo box, crank up the generator, hook it all up, I could have just turned the key and charged from the alternator, you know. I've got a little fan hooked up here. Let me pan around so you can see this side of the van that you probably never see. See, I've moved my fan up from the bed, and I've got a little hook that hang on. And this window over here on the side I've still got open. I haven't put up my privacy panel, but you can see it's dark outside. Try not to make you dizzy. Make sure we keep Buddy in the frame. So yeah, I mean, we didn't really have much to talk about tonight. I thought, well, I'll try to do a live stream from my cell phone. First time I've ever done this, and probably be the last, because it's more simpler to recognize who's speaking on the laptop. You know, if you've ever done it on your phone, maybe you know what I'm talking about. But when you type in a message, like right there. Let's see. James Sherman says, "This is someone looking in there is someone looking in the side window." And see, and then it all disappears. So it gives me like 3 seconds to read it. Let's see if there's a function on here I can change. Huh, not that. Oh my God, what was that? Oh, here's something about messages. Live chat. Let's try that. Okay, Holly, I see she said ha ha ha, but I don't know what she said that about. That's the problem with doing it on the phone. So Buddy never did get any whiskey today. Changed his mind. Hey, I'm seeing some messages now. Someone peeping in your window. What is busking? What does that mean? And I don't know who said it. Yeah, never again will I do this on the phone. Oh, so Laura. What is busking? Street musician. Yeah, you know, I did that for a Saturday night about the first month I moved to Nashville back in 2013. Took my guitar, opened up the case, sat down on the street, and people threw money in it. It was amazing. But then again, the other guy come around and tried to rob me. And we pretty much had a fight right on the sidewalk until he finally went on, and I kept my money. So playing on the street for money, and then some thug comes up, tries to steal it from you. So I never did it again. And then there was this big, like, bouncer guy, saw it all go down, and he came out of the bar that was like, I guess, 50 feet up from the sidewalk. And once the guy saw him coming, he took on off. But yeah, you know, there's a chance bad things happen on the streets. Even down in the touristy section of Nashville, which is really safe for most of the time. You know, you turn down one alley the wrong way and bad things happen, you know. So here, I've got something I do want to talk about, even though I said I didn't. I thought I would just test this out for about 10 minutes and then shut it down. But I want to discuss my plans as far as prepping goes, because I think I got some really good responses about that comment I made at the end of the last video. Ever since I've been living in a van, I've been buying some things that you really need for van dwelling in the wilderness. Like you need a hatchet, you need a saw, you need you know, some tools, a good knife. You really need a good knife, like a hunting knife or something like that. I've got one of those. I've got a handsaw. I've got a hatchet. But I want to think about more things. I need to pick you guys' brain about water purification, not filtration. I'm not talking about a Brita pitcher that you buy at Walmart. I'm talking about if I dipped a bucket in a creek, how do I purify it where I'm not drinking amoebas and bacteria and stuff like that? Do I get a product that's like something like Life Straw, where you can just scoop the cup up out of the creek and put that straw in it and drink through it, and it purifies it for you? Should I get something like that? I've got a couple of friends of mine that was in the Army, and they say there's tablets for that. Berkey, invest in a Berkey, okay? I don't know what that is, but I will Google it. Because I'm ordering a bigger bleach. Life Straw is good. I'm trying to avoid just boiling it or dropping in a drop of bleach, that kind of thing. So what I have on order now is another water reservoir. I have a 6-gallon jug now, and I've got a little spot right under here that it's stored in. So I'm going to double my capacity, so I'll have 12 gallons on board. I've also got nooks and crannies all over the place where I could probably put about another 5 gallons. That's not too shabby, because I know of RVs that only have about 12 gallons on board. But I thought, you know, if I just get a water purification thing, I pass by a creek and I'm getting some water, you know. Especially water for, let's see, Berkeys are more expensive, but every review I've read, people like them. Oops. Life Straw makes large filter. Okay, see, I found Life Straw on Amazon, and I saved it to my shopping list, so I can go back and so I wouldn't lose it and forget about it. Other things I'm thinking about would I need to get one of those hanging solar showers. After thinking about it, I think that would be best for me. That way I have a way to heat up water without having to boil it. That's because that uses propane or butane, whichever one you want to use it. Let's see, Berkey filters for life. Okay, those two, I'm gonna keep those in mind. Chlorine, I'm trying to avoid the chemical pellets or chemical drops. If it comes to that, I'll do it. Don't get me wrong. But I think what I'm thinking is I want to be able to stay in the woods without having to go into town every 3 or 4 days. If I could get 10 days before I had to go into town for supplies. I think that's pretty good. And so I guess, what do you drink, about a gallon a day? Can somebody tell me if that's pretty accurate as far as drinking water? But I wouldn't only be drinking water. I'd also be drinking, uh, maybe some tea and some other things like sports drinks and things I would have with me. So I would have to think about, say I drink a gallon a day, and then I can shower with about a little less than a gallon. I've tried it. So maybe even a half gallon. I think you drink a half gallon a day. I don't know. I think I drink more than that. I'm always sipping on water. Yeah, so now I've got another water storage container coming in. So I'll have two 6-gallon tanks. And then I've got other little crevices around here where I could put 1-gallon jugs. I could put about 3 or 4 under the dash here in the passenger floorboard. I could put 3 or 4 more gallons behind the bed. I mean, I could get up close to 20 gallons of water in here. But I do want to have those 2 big 6-gallon things. Arizona tea from the Super Dollar Tree. Okay, yeah, I've seen that would be good to have too, because drinking water every day and water only, that gets pretty boring. I like to add that flavoring, what do you call it? Can't think of it. Crystal Light, remember that stuff? But it's something like that. It just flavors your water. I love that stuff. I've got a pump sprayer. It's over there behind Buddy. I've never used it in a year and a half, but I still got it. When I've showered in the woods, you know what I did? I filled up 3 bottles of empty Gatorade bottles, and I poured it over me like that. They're manageable. The mouth on them's not too big. I tried the pump sprayer. I practiced with it. It's just the hose on it's too short. I would have to extend the hose, and it's a 2-gallon pump sprayer, the one I have, but it's not painted black. But I think I'm going to get one of those 5-gallon solar showers. They're black. I'd put about 2 gallons in it, throw it up on the hood of the van, let it heat up in the sun, and then I could either use it in that bag, or I could put it in the pump sprayer. I could do many things. But heating water without having to use propane or butane is a big plus for me, because I want to be able to save my propane for my heater and my butane for my stove. And being able to heat up several gallons at once with a black bag out in the sun. And if you guys have ever felt how hot that gets, I've got a friend who showed me that water will burn you. It will scald you. It gets so hot in that black bag. So you got to be careful before you just put your head under it and turn the knob, because it could give you 3rd-degree burns. So might have to mix it up with some cold water too. So just don't fill it up all the way. Let it heat up, and then add some more cold water in it to make it not so scalding hot. All right, let me get back to the comments. Oh, speaking of fires in the woods, there was a problem when I was in Colorado. They were under a drought warning, and there was only 1 or 2 places that actually allowed campfires. The others, there were signs clearly banning them because of the fire risk. So if I wasn't able to build a fire to heat up water, that was my first thought. Well, hey, just build a fire and heat up all the water you want. But what if there were fire restrictions at the time I was there? So I'm just trying to run this hamster wheel in my head through all the different scenarios of how I can heat up water without using propane, or, I mean, I could put it on the engine, put a pot on the engine and it would heat up. Somebody had mentioned that to me in a comment, I guess a couple of months ago. But when I head out next springtime, what is this? Kentucky, now no fires. Does that say no fires? You're in the woods, don't shower. No fires in Montana, I think it said. Gosh, I wish the chat would just stay up and quit disappearing. Okay, so where was I? So I'm slowly building up supplies. Can you say why you chose the Chevy over the Ford? Oh yeah, I can tell you right now why I chose it. For my job, I did a sales route where I was supplied with a Chevy Express for the last, let's see, from 2006 to 2018 or 19, I drove a Chevy Express. 2 vans is what I drove from 2006 to 2019. Each van went well over 300,000 miles with very little maintenance. I did regular oil changes, that stuff. There was a few times where I had to miss sales appointments because I was getting a replacement battery or a headlight, something very simple. So my experience from 2006 to 2019 with Chevy Express vans was fantastic. And so when I decided to do van life, I looked at the ProMaster, almost bought one. But then people were telling me there were some electrical problems and there were some transmission problems. And I'm thinking, well, that's not too bad, until I heard this. Just because a place sells ProMasters doesn't mean they work on it. You can go down to almost any Dodge Ram dealership and buy a ProMaster, right? But doesn't mean they can service them. There's only one within 100 miles of me that services ProMaster vans. And it's over here in Antioch, Tennessee. And I rode by there, and the parking lot is filled up with vans waiting to get serviced and repairs. And they've been sitting there for 2 or 3 weeks. So that settled it for me. GMC, Savannah, or Chevy Express all the way. Parts are readily available all over the internet, all over AutoZone, O'Reilly's, Advance, Napa. They all have plenty of parts for GMC, Savannah, and Chevy Express. So I'm sure that the ProMaster is a pretty good van. Fiat. Oh, I was about to say that. I see that it is a Fiat. It's rebadged with a Ram sticker on it. But Fiat has been running those vans in Europe for many years, and they do have problems, but most people I personally know have had pretty good luck with them. But gosh, one Google search and you see a lot of negative reviews about it. Ford Transit. I think that's a good van. Personally, I would buy one. Problem is, they are expensive. You can almost get 2 Chevy Expresses for the price of 1 Ford Transit. They have really gone up in price. So, I know I made a long answer out of what I could have just said because I like them, they're good. But I wanted to elaborate and tell you exactly why I chose this van. Because the company I work for We one time we had 150 Chevy Express vans in our fleet, and I know the fleet manager. He said he never had many problems with them. That fleet manager was he left and went somewhere else. We hired a new fleet manager, and guess what we have now? Ram Pro Masters. And I know from now we have about 100 of those out there. And we had a guy out of Baltimore call in one day, and he said he had just got his ProMaster. He had had it for less than 10,000 miles, and he's driving down the road, and all of his lights on his dash start flickering. And electrical problems. Something about the way they coat their wiring. Maybe it's aluminum coated or something, but it oxidizes. And if you've ever seen a wiring harness for an automobile, you can forget finding out which wire is bad. You got to just replace the whole harness, you know, and that's expensive. Chevy Express 1500. Yeah, those were good. Those, they don't make them anymore. But they had a V6 in it that was a 4.3 liter V6. And they were very powerful. Very long lasting. Problem with them were they didn't get very good fuel mileage, and the V8 actually gets about the same fuel mileage as the V6. But man, those good engines. So they just decided to quit making them and stick with the V8. But the only other difference that with the 1500 and the 2500 was the leaf springs under the back. You can put a little more payload in this van. But those Express 1500s are great vans. Great vans. You'll get 300,000 out of that engine. You got a 5.3 liter in what? Homer. What kind of van is it? All the Econo lines are good vans. $17 miles per gallon and a 5.3. Yeah, that's pretty good. I get as high as 22 miles per gallon on the interstate at 70 miles per hour. But in the city, I'm not getting anywhere close to that. I'm getting about probably 15 in the city. Now, if I use high octane gas, I get excellent gas mileage. But around here, I just use 87 octane. When I was out in the mountains, I used 91. I would have used 93, but it wasn't available. Uh, 5.7 liter. I don't remember that engine in the Chevy Express. I think there's 6.0 now. There was okay. I'm trying to read this really quick. Yeah, when that sensor and computer goes out, you're right. I don't know who just wrote that, but on that Mercedes, you're looking at $7,000 to fix that. Oh, it's a 350. Man, oh man. My brother had a Camaro with a 350 in it, and that thing was a beast. It was a 71 Camaro. And I think it came from the factory with a 307 in it. And then he blew that up and put a 350 in it. $85 octane. I saw that out west. And, you know, I was afraid to use it because I thought it would make the valves chatter and it just make you be way underpowered. But I saw 85 octane out. It was either in Kansas or Colorado. I know it was in Colorado, and I thought I was afraid to use octane that low. My van is a E85 compliant flex fuel stuff, but I've never used anything like that in it. But yeah, my van has the flex fuel sticker on the dash and out by the gas tank. And you know, when you put the key in the ignition, you know the first thing that happens, right? The computer reads it and it says, okay, what kind of fuel we got in this thing? And it sets the mixture as soon as you put the key in. That's what the computer does. What's up, Slack? I can't read through these glasses. These glasses are just for seeing far off. I usually take my glasses off when I'm reading because I don't need reading glasses. But small print's a little rough. Man, it's getting hot in this van.
In these
I got to get the AC going. Is that too loud? Can you hear the vents blowing? Is that annoying? I'm sitting here with my face right up against this light bulb, and it's putting off a lot of heat on me. It's fine, no problem. Good. Yeah, I mean, I buttoned it up a little early tonight. I usually leave the windows down till about 10 p.m. And then I put up all my privacy panels. But I decided if I was going to make the video, I wanted to go ahead and button it up so people wouldn't be walking by and see me talking to a camera, phone screen and think I was crazy. Man, is it humid. Yeah, I can't read with these on hardly. The thing about getting old. Next step will be reading glasses. I've got a few backup pair of glasses that are in one of these cases back here in case I was to be out on a trip and break these. I could put my old ones on and get me by. I need to put them on Buddy. Buddy would look amazing in glasses. So I got a new pack of masks today. And these are a little small. They hardly even cover your face up. Hey, from Canada. Didn't catch your name. I think it was Dan. Gonna visit Canada hopefully next summer. Up through BC. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Went to Toronto back in '99. But I'm more interested in the western part. From the Rockies all the way to Vancouver is the part I'm interested in seeing. All right, guys, I can't really think of much more to discuss about my prepping. I'm not going to stick with the, ever since my solar panel went out, it kind of busted my budget for August. So we'll try that in September. So I'm going to go ahead and buy what I want to buy in August. And come September, I'll try to spend only $900 for the month of September. But I'm going to go ahead and order some stuff tonight from Amazon. I think I need to get more tarps. And I need to get some tarp poles and some paracord. Bob Wells said when you're camping in a van, or when you're traveling in a van or living in a van, you should always carry a tent with you. And his reason was, when you're set up your camp and then you have to get in your van and go into town and get something, well, nobody knows that it's your spot and they can take it. So you need to have a tent put up to identify that it's already taken, right? Well, I got thinking about that, and I think, that's a good way to think. That's a good thing to do. But why do I want to go spend $30 or $40 on a tent that someone could steal, when all you got to do is get a tarp and some paracord and put it up there, and somebody's going to know you're there, right? And if they steal that, so what? A tarp's $3. So get a couple of tarps. The paracord I have now is not very good. I want to get some better cord. Have I finished work now, or is that for somebody else? Yard sale tent, yeah, any old junky tent, but it could go one of two ways. They could see the tent and say, yeah, somebody's already there, let's move on, or they could just take the tent for themselves, But a tarp do the same thing. It'd let them know that somebody's already got dibs on this spot, and if they were thieves, then all they're going to steal is a $3 tarp, So tarp's the way I'm going to go. But I am going to get some tarp poles. I've got plans for an awning on the van. Chrome has this new thing on his van now that he has. It's an awning that pulls out, and it's got poles that come down and go into the ground. So he has an awning like on an RV, right? Well, I'm not going to do that. If I was out in the woods camping, I have a way with magnets to fasten the tarp on the edge of the van and then come out tarp poles and paracord, easy up, easy down. Because I'm not going to spend that money on that awning, but man, his awning looks sweet, right? But I also need another tarp for ground cover right outside of the side doors, just to keep when you're camping and there's a lot of dirt, leaves and all, and then you track it up into the side door of the van, it gets really dirty. So I need another tarp to put down as like a ground cover there. Kick shoes off on the tarp. And one thing I've already bought that came in that works wonderful is a screen door. The kind they advertise on TV. If you have a sliding glass door and you can put this screen up that attaches with Velcro around the edges, and down the middle it attaches with magnets, and you just walk through and push it, and the screen door opens up, and when you let go it closes back with the magnets. Well, I bought the one on Amazon that was 80 inches tall, 60 inches wide, fits like a glove. It might be a tad long where it touches the ground a little bit, but it wouldn't matter because I'd have a tarp down on the ground anyway to keep debris off of it. And plus, when it touching the ground, it kind of keeps it up against the van when the wind blows, so the bugs can't come in if the wind blew the screen out. But man, it fits like a glove, and I thought I'd let you guys know it's the one that's 80 inches tall, 60 inches wide. And I think they're about $25, just enough to get free shipping on Amazon in case you don't have Prime. Get a notebook. Yeah. I've got my notebook up here. Oh, that was bad, right? But the worst thing about camping is if you forget bug spray, you're screwed. You are so screwed without bug spray or mosquito nets or screen of some type. But I already have screens for the passenger and driver side door. I attach those with magnets. They work great. Now I've got my side door covered with screen. It works great. I don't need one for the back door. I'm not going to be opening it because I have the rack back there anyway. So a lot of things to buy to get ready for forest survival, right? But with this whole COVID thing, my whole way of thinking was changed for sure. I used to joke about, I'll never need any of that camping stuff. I'm not going to be out there but 2 or 3 days, and then I'm going to be back in the city. You know. Well, COVID changed everything, because now you want to avoid crowds and get out of the city. So it changed everything for me. So I want to have some nice appointments that will make living out in the woods much more doable, not so much comfortable, because I'm choosing freedom over comfort every time I have the choice. But I do have certain comfort levels that I do want met. You know what I mean? But they're not much. I mean, look at this van. Oh, I did change I love the red sheets. You know, I did laundry today. And I bought those sheets at Walmart. When I first bought them, they were a little scratchy. But after a few washes, man, they feel really good now. And I do like the red. Gives it a little touch of color in here. And I have my red bedspread rolled up behind that bungee cord behind Buddy there. So I do like the bed dressed up in a dark red color. Gives it a little bit of beauty in here, I guess, other than all this gray, you know. All right, guys, so I'm going to keep in mind about the Berkey and the live straw, do my research on those, and I will make a decision within the next week or so on which one to get, because having water, that's top priority, right? I mean, you can live without a lot of things, but I want to have a good water supply. Eye bolts, that's a good idea. I could actually get the magnet base ones that just attach to the top of the van, that's got like a little felt pad on the bottom so it won't scratch your paint. And I can hook my tarp on it, stretch it out, put it on the tarp poles, and then tie it down with a paracord. Oh, and I'm also ordering some tent stakes. You know, the tent stakes about that long you put in the ground to hold your tent down? I found a pack of those on Amazon for $7. So I thought, yeah, I could use those for all sorts of things. So I've got those on order already. But another thing, before I sign off, is some of your campsites are out in the sun, right? They're not wooded, they're not shady. You got to make your own shade. So that's where the tarp comes in. The jerry can I've got ordered is exactly like my old one for water, and it fits perfectly in my cubby hole here, where I left that space between the cabinets right here down at the bottom, and it pushes all the way up against this wall. It's just enough room for 2 6-gallon jugs. Play that guitar. Yeah, I need to break it out. I hadn't played it in a month. Maybe I'll do that. I'm off this weekend. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up. Time to get ready for bed. So everybody take care, be well, smash the bell. Next time we go live, we'll do it on the laptop so I can actually see all your comments better than I've been able to do it on the phone. All right, take care in Iowa. Good to see you. All right, good night, guys.